Hello and welcome to another episode of Tribunal of the Grid. We talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. My name is Brenda.
My name is Lena.
And my name is Will.
And today we will be talking about, you guessed it, Hasbro Pro Con 2022. So I know everybody is like, oh my God, the news is out, And, you already know we're going to be over here talking about the news, obviously. So without further ado, I just want to go ahead and just run into this real fast so we can go ahead and get right to it. You know what to do. linktr.ee/Tribunal for those of you who are just now listening to for the first time. There's all kind of variations that you can listen to us, all type of options. We got YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere where you can listen to a podcast, we are there. So, if you feel like listening on YouTube today and have it playing in the background, you can do that. If you feel like listening on SoundCloud while listening to other artists and stuff like that, you can do that too. You can listen on Google Podcasts. I don't know who listens on Google, but hey, some people listen on Google Podcasts. But most people I know you listen on Apple Podcasts. So we are there too. So like I said, linktr.ee/Tribunal of the Grid has all our links there, including our own personal links. So if you want to follow us, you can follow us too. Now, let's get into it. Last Friday, I was afraid because remember we talked about it. We talked like, are we going to be able to make it to watch Hasbro Pro Con, things to that nature, right? Mm-hmm. And I just knew I wasn't going to make it. I just knew. Because I was like, you know what? This thing is happening at 2:15. Like, I'm probably not going to make it. Not counting that it's happening at 11:15 my time. So I'm like, oh no, I will be able to watch it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, because like my I have like what's called development time at work. So at that time, I always have it at 11 o'clock. So it just so happened that Hasbro Pro Con fell at 2:15, which was 11:15 my time. So I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. So I'm like, cool, this is great. Let's get into it. So I went ahead, logged on, right? And no, as a matter of fact, before I even get into that, what were y'all doing on that day at around 2:15? Were y'all working? Like, what was going on?
Oh, it was a Friday, definitely working.
Yeah, I was at work.
My hands was probably in some toilet somewhere.
Oh, no.
I'm a cleaner. What can I say?
I was probably preparing drinks or talking to somebody over the headset in the drive-thru.
Oh, child. Well, I was, sitting at a desk. I was sitting at a desk, not doing the work that I'm actually paid for, but hey, it is what it is, right? So I went ahead and, did what I needed to do. And in the little 15 minutes that I had. And then I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and clock on in and see what's going on. Child, it was rambling. Whoever this host was, I think personally was just rambling just to try to save time. Or they maybe was running late, maybe running behind. I don't know what was going on. But child, they were just, I don't know. Like it was a lot happening. So I'm just like, this kind of sucks. I'm running out of time. So this thing needs to happen and happen fast. You know what I'm saying? So finally, after the host got finished babbling, finally the two people, what's their names? It's the girl and the guy, the two Asian people. I forget their names. But anyway, they jumped on. And of course they're like all excited, like, yay, Power Rangers. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Get to the good stuff. So basically, the first things first, they went straight for the Lightning Collection. I mean, they were like, let's just go ahead and get into this like ASAP. So first they went to the Lightning Collection, which, we already know what tea is. They introduced Coda, they introduced Zoe, and they introduced Izzy. And well, here's the gag, right? So we already knew about Coda and Zoe. But unless you were following what is it? Lightning Collection Figs PR, something like that, like their page. Unless you were following that, you wouldn't have known about Izzy. So Izzy, I mean, and they didn't really necessarily say when Izzy was coming. We just knew that she was coming. So Izzy randomly just popped up, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. We got Izzy. And then we got one lonely little putrid from Power Rangers Wild Force. I didn't really give a damn, but whatever. Now, we already talked about Coda and Zoe, but I would just want y'all opinion. When it comes to our girl Izzy and the putrid, what is it given? Like, how do they look? Like, what are your opinions? What are your thoughts?
I could care less about the putrid, obviously. I'm looking closely at the face. It resembles Tessa, but I'm getting Nev Campbell. Wow.
Really?
With a
I see it
tan.
actually.
With a tan.
Nev Campbell with the tan.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't see that at all.
It just looks like she's very constipated. Like, it doesn't look like Izzy.
Now she does look constipated. Now that I will agree with. She does look constipated. That's her angry face. She has that poopy face. That
So, like, if that's angry,
season.
I don't know. I don't want to know what you really look like when you're real angry, because this looks like your poop face.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, well, also too, going back to season 1, during the episode where, she pushed Fern down the hill. Because I don't care what nobody says, she definitely pushed that girl.
I mean, but you know what though? It was to push Anita for Fern to fall in love with her.
I mean, hey, just saying, right? But Chance definitely said, well, not Chance, but Hobby definitely said she makes that little face when when she's constipated. So I mean, hey, homegirl, this is her constipated face. So I think the Lightning Collection is quite accurate. I'm just saying. I think it's accurate. But yeah, so what is it giving y'all? Like, what do y'all think? Like, I mean, personally, I think the face is fine. My only real issue, honestly, and I'm going to be 100 with you, my main issue with this, low key but high key, is her hairline. Do you not see where her hairline starts? Her hairline is in the center of her forehead. I'm just like, what is this?
I
Like,
was thinking about this. Yeah.
what? Why? Like, what is happening? Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I am very disappointed with the hairline. Like, the hair on the figure, I'm like, now the face, the poopy face, I'm not mad about that. I'm really not. But that damn hairline, y'all got to get that. Like, push it back. Push it back. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It is like when girls try to wear lace fronts and they try to like.
No, why are you saying
That's exactly what it is. I'm telling you, it is like when girls try to wear lace fronts and they push them things way too like on the top of their heads, and then want to put the baby hairs like right on top of their eyebrows. Like, that is what it's given.
Yeah,
Like, it looks terrible. I am so angry with this. Like, I'm like, listen, I get it. Tessa, her face is like, all right, whatever, right? But goddamn, like this, ooh, child, like this, that just looks bad. Like, it just looks bad. I'm not here for it. I'm not. Like, I'm truly not. I'm not here for it. But that putrid, on the other hand, I'm definitely not here for that. Like I'm just gonna I'm just gonna be 100 about that. Like that putrid looks terrible. Like not terrible. Let me not say it looks terrible. Let me backtrack. It doesn't look terrible, but it the lines just it's something about the lines that look off to me. Does anyone else feel that way?
I don't really remember what the putreds, like the real ones, look like. So I don't know.
Like it's something about the lines on them on his figure that just looks really
Oh.
really off.
Okay, I said that, and there's a picture of the real putrid right there.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I can see
like they
that.
just these lines are like aimlessly just wandering through life, and the other ones look
Mm,
like they actually have a target in a place where they're gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Like they actually have a mission, and these are just like I'm just living my best life, like all over this figure. So I'm just
mm.
like I'm not feeling it. I'm not. I'm
It
not.
looks like the lines should be raised too, and these are just like painted on.
Yeah, like they just took a red marker and just said color as you will. Like, I mean, that's kind of what it's given. So, I'm not impressed with this putrid. Now, what I will say, I will be honest, because we can't just always just dog stuff all the time without saying something nice. I will say the face is given. The face is given. Like, I will say that. The face is definitely given. So, it looks all right. It looks all right. So I'll give them that. I will give them that. But other than that, that is what is given. That is the Lightning Collection figures that we got. I mean, if you want to listen to our previous dissection about Coda and Zoe, you can listen to our past episodes where I want to say it was the one before the last one. Where we actually talked about it. Or we did talk. I don't know if we talked about it the last episode. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, um, if you want to listen to that, you can listen. If you want to hear about what we thought about those, you can listen to the past episode because we're not talking about it tonight because we got too much to cover. So, so then they were just like, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull up the Dino Fury panel. So of course, as you know, Andre Black Nerd, he was a moderator for the panel. Now, mind you, this panel was done, I want to say last week. Last week as in like the week before the con. So it was pre-recorded, but they were, airing it live. So basically, you know, they cut they cut the actual interview to show, I think, what is it like? What was it, 15 or 20 minutes of, oh, no, it was less than that. I want to say it was like maybe 10 minutes of just one part of the actual conversation. We didn't get any of the Dino Fury stuff. We didn't talk about any of the stuff that's like what happens on season 2 or anything like that. Didn't get any of that. But what they did do was they cut straight to the part where Andre was asking about Cosmic Fury. So everyone was, Simon Bennett was just like, yeah, we're gonna be, Cosmic Fury is a thing. It's gonna be something that is coming up next, and blah 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 blah. And he's giving all the teas and everything. And Andre asks, what is going to be the next? Like, is there going to be a Sentai that is adapted? And if there is, which one is it? Before Simon could say which one, they went right back to the two Asian people to talk about more stuff. And when I tell you,
Oh.
I was so irritated. But luckily, I have friends in high places, aka No Peaks Spandex. And we were in the chat. I was in the No Pink Spandex chat, and they were like, "Hey," and I want to say that was Seamus. I want to say Seamus was like, "Oh, the Hasbro Post already posted the full interview with the Dino Fury cast." So I'm gonna tell you now. I just went in and started watching the entire. I quit watching the con and went straight to the panel, to the Dino Fury panel. So I do apologize for the people that were, doing the Hasbro Post Con, because I wasn't watching it. I gave up. So went back to that. And one thing that I want to say before, because we're going to touch all of these things. We're going to touch all of Simon and Cosmic Fury. The first thing that he mentions out the gate, right, was he said, he said, I want to clear up some rumors real fast. He said, I cannot go any further without letting the people know this. Hasbro and Toei have a great relationship, and nobody's splitting up no time soon. Now, this has been the topic of conversation for God knows how long. It's been the topic of conversation.
Wow, yeah.
We've been talking about, Power Rangers. We don't know the future of Power Rangers because literally, the Toei and Hasbro are separating. You've seen so many think pieces on YouTube pop up. People kept talking about it on Twitter. This was the conversation for over 2 years. Over 2 years. This has been the conversation. Hasbro and Toei are splitting up. Hasbro and Toei are splitting up. Oh no, Hasbro and Toei are splitting up. And people had different reasons as to why, different things that they thought that, oh man, like they're going to split up because this is happening, and they're going to split up because, they won't allow them to do certain things. So, in order for them to do that, they need to split up. And that's why, Hasbro went so radio silent and didn't say anything for all these years, and blah, blah, blah. And people came up with so many things, right? I mean, we all did. We all speculated it, right? And Simon came and said, I just want to go ahead and shut that shit down. And, a certain somebody named Bryce West on Twitter, who writes for the Illuminati, had this to say. He wrote, and I quote, because I'm going to read the whole thing because this is important. He wrote, my statement in regards to the recent Power Ranger news. What's up, Ranger Nation? My name is Bryce, and I am the news writer, as well as the Power Rangers content editor for the Illuminati. I am also known for writing the story in which we reported that Hasbro will be ending their partnership with Toei after Power Rangers Dino Fury. Today, Simon revealed that this information is inaccurate and that they will continue to partner with Toei for Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. As you all know by now, the Zord footage will derive from Uchu Sentai Q Ranger. The season will feature completely original Ranger fight footage. However, that does not change the fact that my story was incorrect about the Toei partnership. I would like to say that the Illuminati would never release a story knowing that it was false, and until yesterday, I believed it to be true. I am sorry if people feel that I have misled them. Once again, I truly believe the information was accurate, and I would have never reported on it if I believed otherwise. Regardless, I am incredibly excited for Cosmic Fury and the upcoming reboot in the future. I am leaving this thread open if anyone has questions on how I approach the story or any of my subsequent stories. My goal is to be as transparent as possible in this situation. Thanks for everything, Ranger Nation. Thoughts?
At least he took accountability and apologized and said that he was wrong. The information he got was wrong.
Very interesting indeed.
Let's be very clear. Let's be very, 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 very clear. I wanted every one of them. Because I hear what he's saying about, oh well, I'm the editor, I'm this, that, and the third, I'm this, I'm that, I do all the things for Illuminati. You are not when did that happen? Like that's my question. When did that happen? Because as far as I'm concerned, anything that ever happened with Power Rangers, Joe always had his name attached to it. Now, I'm not saying that he didn't give this, this responsibility over to Bryce. I'm not saying that there's no way that he could have, given him that responsibility or anything like that. I'm not saying that. My only issue, well, not my only issue, because I have a couple issues with this. But one of my issues is, sir, you are not in this by yourself. Because let's be very clear. You said that you believe this to be true, right? You believe it to be true. I'm pretty sure whoever your source was told you whatever information they knew, and you thought that you were doing the right thing by reporting it, right? Is there nobody that is like running this that is like, hey, or do you not talk to the rest of the group or something? Like I just feel like him taking the brunt of all of this by himself, that doesn't sit well. That doesn't sit right with me. Especially when we know the Illuminati is multiple people. That doesn't sit right with me. Every time you see the Illuminati pop up on something, Joe is the one that is front, face, and center, right? Yeah. Every time. I'm correct in saying this, am I right?
Yeah.
So
oh hell yeah. Like
if Joe is the one that is front face and always, doing the interviews, doing all the things Power Ranger related, right? My thing is, why are you the one that is taking the fall for it? When we know that Joe multiple times is the one who is always reporting Power Rangers content. So even as to now, we know this. So I'm just a little perplexed on why this random person named Bryce, who we never heard of, is taking the heat for something that's been happening, and that is something that has caused so much division, caused so much conversation, caused so much confusion for over 2 years. We've never heard of you. And now all of a sudden, here you come taking all the brunt for it. And you don't even put Joe's name up there at all. And he's the one who is constantly reporting on Power Rangers openly. That doesn't sit right with me. Am I overthinking this? I mean, once again, I don't know what's happening in their house. That's also another thing too. I don't know what's going on in their house. But am I incorrect in thinking that something is off?
I mean, that's a fair feeling, I think. Yeah.
Because my thing is, I just feel like there is no reason for this random person to take the heat for something like that, and you don't add the rest of the Illuminati into this. You know what I'm saying? Because the Illuminati is not just Bryce, not just this random person. It's not just him. It's everybody, and all of them reported on this. all of them had something to do with this, with the misinformation that's come out. Hell, going, case in point, the James Gunn situation. Joe reported on that, and James Gunn himself, basically made Joe look crazy. I'm just gonna call it like it is. He made him look crazy. So, I guess for me, it's like I don't know. And once again, like I said, I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I don't know what's going on in their house. But to me, it just feels like, and I'm just telling you what I feel, not what I know, what I feel. So don't take this as Bible or anything like that. But what I feel like is you use this Bryce guy to take the fall for you. Because you already have such a bad rep anyway with information. You don't need another one under your belt. So you just was like, let me use this guy to take the fall for me. Well, that's what it feels like for me.
Well, like what I don't get to it, that is exactly what it is. But what I also don't get to is like, for somebody with such a high stature as that the word stature, as he does, you would think that he would take the time to do the research. You'd think he'll take the time to actually have a reliable source. You would think he would do all of these things to protect himself and his brand. But instead, like you said, time and time and time again, he'd be coming out some foolishness. And every time I hear Numinority, I'm like, oh my God, what did they do this time? What stuff did they say this time? So it's just like, at the end of the day, for somebody like himself, instead of like having someone take the fall for him, why not just do your job better?
Bloop.
Like I'm just so tired. Like I feel like someone like us just does that kind of attention. We report stuff, we find the facts. If it's not right, guess what? It gets edited out. Like,
or like even that, like we get it edited, or we'll say, during our previous episode, we said X, Y, and Z that was incorrect. This is the actual fact.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
We take accountability for when we're wrong. But this guy just keeps deflecting, and deflecting. Now he's got a whole ass person that we never heard about taking fall for something that is probably this person maybe may or may not done. We don't know. Like you said, we don't know what goes on behind closed door. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what kind of money he's getting paid. But bottom line is, own your shit. You made a mistake, rectify it. It's so much that you constantly need to find someone. Like the fact that you have to find someone to take a fall for you says a lot.
Listen.
I can't believe we're having a conversation on Numinority once again.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I didn't want to give them too much of this time, but I just had to say that because it just really didn't sit. It didn't sit right with me. Like this whole post, and once again, just like to Will's credit, I will say, and I also thought the same thing. I'm like, I do also appreciate the fact that they apologized. I do. I will literally sit here and say I do appreciate the fact that that someone did apologize. But however, I just feel like it should have been everybody on that email CC, like exactly. Every one of them.
And not even just that, but my thing is what I want to know. You apologize. Great. Fantastic. How are you going forward to make this better, to be better?
Right.
That's what I want to know, because I'm sorry, I don't need no fake apologies. That's not what we need right now. We don't care for fake apologies. Who are we, the Kardashians who apologize and then go back out there and do the same shit they just apologized for? Heck no. Heck no. Right now, I'm sure you probably heard, Courtney is all like, I'm with boho or booho or whatever the brand is, and they're trying to make sustainable like fashion, and I'm like, oh, okay, but isn't boho like Shein, which is like high fashion and fashion or whatever it is? So they're making sustainable pieces, but yet Courtney is literally opposite of being sustainable.
And that's well, a little bit on that too. Also, too, like, and just a quick sidebar. Like, I don't even like how Courtney is, and that family in general is trying to frame Tristan right now. Granted, we all know Tristan is a terrible person. We know he a hoe. We know he's,
Yeah,
we know he's terrible. We know
yeah.
this. But, however, girl, you kept running back to this terrible man. Like,
Oh
let's
no,
also
no,
be
you're
very
thinking.
clear.
Did I say Courtney? Oh no, you're thinking of Chloe.
Oh, which one is Chloe? Oh yeah. Wait.
Chloe is the one with the
Courtney's
plastic
the
surgery.
oldest.
Oh,
Yeah.
Courtney is the oldest, the actual pretty one. Got it.
No,
Okay.
Courtney, I wouldn't necessarily say she's the pretty one, but okay, we'll go with that.
No, well, I would say the
Well, like the only one
naturally
without.
pretty
Yeah, the
one.
natural one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
the
how she
natural.
say.
Because
She's
I no, because my thing is, I
natural.
will say she is pretty, but like she's pretty because like she didn't get the. To me,
Surgeries.
I feel like she's a lot more prettier because she didn't get all the
Well, I
facial
feel like
treatments and all of that.
Kendall would be the prettier one then, because Kendall doesn't have any treatments either.
She
Not
wait,
anymore.
what?
Started doing
Kendall,
stuff now.
Kendall Jenner?
Yeah, she started doing like her lips now.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I guess. But anyway,
Sidebar. There is nothing wrong with plastic surgery. If you want to do that, you can do that. We're
no,
not bashing.
no, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Do what feels right and what makes you feel most happiest, but don't do it because you feel that it's gonna make your life better. It's not gonna do that.
And it's not gonna make no man want you or stay. That's
No,
also the thing.
yeah,
So just throwing that
no,
out there for
yeah,
the people in the back.
yeah. But basically my point I'm trying to get across is that we don't need a fake apology. Like they're apologizing because they're in deep water. Now, this is the first time they apologize. So that's also a first. So I'm like, okay, cool. Now that you apologize, how can you go forward to be better, do better, and provide better? Because are we gonna be down
Yeah.
this path like 2 days down the road after you just apologize?
Um,
You know,
I
like
don't
we're
know.
Canadians, you can't keep apologizing.
And
So
saying sorry over and
yeah,
over.
exactly. Jokes.
But nah, like like I said, it just didn't sit right with me. Like it just made me feel the way reading it, and I'm just like, no, I can't wait to talk about this on the show because this just it didn't sit right with me. It really didn't. But I'm glad I'm not the only person who felt that way. But yeah, so Simon went ahead and he cleared up some things and stuff. So he, was getting the people together and he cleared that rumor. He aired that rumor out. Then he went on to say that first and foremost, Cosmic Fury, and like I mentioned it in the write up that Bryce did, but Cosmic Fury will be using the Zord footage from Q Ranger. Now, the Cosmic Fury also will be having brand new suits. So the suits are just basically Dino Fury suits, but like a little updated, little super version, I guess you can say. With the of the Cosmic Fury, not Cosmic Fury, of the Dino Fury style, Dino Fury suits. So basically, it's the same helmets, but just like brand new little indentures on it and a brand new suit altogether. What do you think about the design of the suit? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What is it giving?
I want to see the rest and see how they all look together. I think that is it's a cool concept that they just revamped the the Rio Soldier suits. But I don't know. I think I kind of need to see everybody together and also like footage of them like in action because they just gave us like a an animated well like it's a sketch of a colored sketch of what they'll look like. So I think actually like seeing it might it might look a little different, but it's not bad. I like that they at least I mean I guess I was gonna say I like that they at least changed the helmet up a bit, but like it's basically what they did to the whole suit. They just have you know spruced it up, I guess you could say. Like it's a bit of an upgrade. So that's pretty cool.
Okay. What do you think, Lena? What does it give him?
I kind of like it. It's
Okay.
it's different. It's a change. Yeah, it's like I say, I
Yeah.
don't know what else. Like it's different. I actually really like it. I like the simpleness of it. I like the it's it allows you to focus on everything else versus just the random logo in the middle of the chest or what have you. But yeah, I like it.
For me, I was two ways on it. I was two ways. When I first saw it, I'm not even gonna hold you. I said, what the hell is this? Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it just it did nothing for me. I'm not even gonna hold you. It did nothing for me. I was like, what is this? Why does it look like that? Why is it spicy? Like it just like I don't know, like it just really just did nothing for me. It just like in the picture, right? I'm looking at the one thing that did fascinate me that I really did go, ooh, literally audibly, just like that. Was the sides, like the torso, the side of the torso, where you see like the silver on one side, and then you had the darker colored part on the other side. So the darker colored part, if you really like zoom in on it, especially on like the HD one, if you really zoom in on it, it looks textured. It looks like it has some sort of texture in it. So done right, like if they, don't use the 2-ply spandex suits that they've been using all these years, and actually upgrade to more of a actual show with a budget type suit. Like somebody's DC or Marvel, because I'm telling you right now, DC and Marvel, their movie suits are just chef's kiss. Like, the way they use texture in their spandex, because obviously all those suits are spandex. Like every one of them are. But but the way they do it makes the suit actually end up looking like, something otherworldly. Case in point, for the Black Adam, his suit, if you look at his suit, you can see the battle damage in the suit. So like it's all discolored, and then he also has all these inscriptions in the actual suit. So, it's the attention to detail. And with something like this suit, it could really either go one way where it's like, oh, it looks great, especially with the whole textured look on the side, or it could just look real flat. And it could just look like, This looks kind of basic and kind of lame. So, it depends on what resources they use for the suits and how they use them in order to design it. I do think, however, it is going to be the two ply only because of the way the costumes are drawn, and they look very they look like the stuff looks very loose. So it looks like it's still going to be that two ply spandex, which I'm just like, okay, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah, like it looks like it's going to be that still. So I mean, I'll live with it. But overall, though, I mean, I love the fact that Izzy has two daggers. And Ion
Mhm.
has his Moza gun that is like a gauntlet type of situation. Um, so it's given. Like I actually I'm excited. Like I actually do like it. I think it looks great. Um, well, now I do anyway. The only thing that I am actually, oh yeah, sidebar. The morpher, Izzy's morpher.
Right, right, right.
Fucking love it. That morpher looks, I'm telling you right now, when they start putting out stuff for Cosmic Fury, that morpher is going on my it's going on my little thing. In
Mhm.
my little stand where all my Lightning Collection toys are. Like it's going there. Because that morpher looks fucking dope. And it looks like there's a Qtama that's in it.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I'm like, I'm with it. Like, I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with it. I'm cool. The only thing I do see people are like that lightning bolt in the belt.
Mhm.
Personally, it doesn't bother me. I understand where people are coming from,
Yeah,
but it don't
I
bother
can
me.
I can understand where people are coming from as well because we're used to having either a morpher or like the emblem for that season. But I have a feeling they did it like in commemoration of the 30th season.
Same, same. I think they did the exact same thing. They did that on purpose because they're like, oh, well, we want to, be all like the 30th anniversary and all that shit. So, and that's pretty much exactly the reason why they did do it. Simon Bennett actually did say on Twitter that, the lightning bolt has been a staple in Power Rangers for, that is the Power Ranger thing, the lightning bolt.
Mhm.
So, I could see this being a thing where it's like, oh, going forward, where we might end up seeing that lightning bolt or a variation of the lightning bolt in anything American made, since that is the quote unquote staple. Um, so I don't know. Like it's overall, like I said, it didn't offend me. It didn't offend me. I like I said, I know people didn't like it, but it didn't bother me too much. I'm okay with it. Um, but yeah, so that was that. But like I said, he talked about the suits, and then he also went on. Like I said, he went on to say that Q Ranger will be adapting the Zord fights in Mecha. Um,
Mhm.
Now, of course, this led to some strife. This led to some arguments, some ill feelings. Even now to this day, during this recording, people are not happy. Well, I'm not gonna say people because there are some people who are just like whatever. But some people are really voicing their grief about, you know, about Power Rangers not using the Q Ranger suits, but using the Q Ranger mecha. What do you think? Like, do you think that this is like they should use the suits, or do you think like you know originality is the best way to go? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is your opinion? What's your thoughts?
Originality, in my opinion.
Unique. Yes.
I I don't know. I would have loved to have seen the Q Ranger suits just because I've been in love with just that whole layout for the last couple of years that it's since it's been out. But since they're going for um original footage for all of the in-suit stuff, I think it's pretty cool, and I think like this will be so different because we haven't had this really at least not since I can't even remember the last time. It's been a long time since we've had a majority of just original footage not from Japan. And usually though that footage can be just as fun as the Japanese footage, but it's always been kind of special to see stuff that is made just for the show. And I think that this is really cool. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I know people are just out here like, oh well, Key Ranger. I want the Key Ranger sense. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I know, and I know it can feel like a huge middle finger to your face. You know what I'm saying? Like mugs are just like, that's real messed up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. I get it. Mugs are like, wait a minute. Like, I just knew we were gonna get the Q Ranger stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I just knew it. I knew we were gonna get Q Ranger. I just knew we were gonna get the suits. And I mean, you've seen it, like on Twitter, and YouTube and Instagram. People are just like, making little photos and videos and just like, yeah. I mean, Zato's gonna be Shishi Red, and Izzy's gonna be chameleon green, and you know what I'm saying, and people were just so excited for it just to have the rug swept up right under them. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I get the disappointment, but also at the same time, like, y'all have got to remember, and this is no shade, right? But y'all have got to remember, this show is an adaptation. And I get the argument that, you understand that, but I feel like it's understood vocally, but not in practice. It's understood that we're two separate things until you don't get your way. Then now all of a sudden it becomes, you start hearing the argument of, well, why don't they use it? It doesn't make sense. Why are they using only certain things, but they don't use everything? And blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I understand that majority of us were children when Mighty Morphin came out, but none of you sat back and made that same argument with Die Ranger or Kaku Ranger. Because guess what? You believed that Mighty Morphin, that Zyuranger, fit because of the different colors match the different characters. Mm-hmm. The show made it work. So I keep seeing all these arguments of, I don't understand how this is gonna work. How is this gonna work? Like they still have Dino Fury suits. How is this gonna work? How is this gonna work? The same way Mighty Morphin season 2 and season 3 worked. Mm-hmm, same way. So I don't understand the argument. It's almost kind of like you don't think things will work because it doesn't fall into the frame of mind that you have set up, because you were so firm in your belief that Power Rangers can only operate under the confines of Super Sentai. If it doesn't fall exactly like the Super Sentai, it won't work. Power Rangers has always been its own entity, and it always will. Plain and simple, the show started out its own entity, but only using Japanese footage. The show has always been separated from its Japanese counterpart. It wasn't until the Zordon era not the Zordon era, the ending of the Zordon era, beginning with Lost Galaxy, that literally they started honing in on most of the Japanese storylines. And even then, they was trying to add a little flair, a little flavor to it. But y'all have got to realize that this show is always and has always been an adaptation. It has always been true to the definition of what an adaptation is. They take different ideas from the original work, and they create their own stories based on that. But this whole idea of, oh, they have to use certain things, they have to use this, they have to use that. I can understand if you're upset because they're not using certain things, but also at the same time, like, you can't get too mad. You can't get mad. You can't get mad if they don't use it. It is what it is, you know? So that's my gripe. That's my, that's my thing. Um, so there's that. But moving right along, because I didn't want to touch on this Q Ranger thing too much, because I'm just like, this. Listen, you can go on Twitter if you want to find a whole bunch of think pieces on it. I just wanted to go ahead and say my little piece and call it right.
And you
But
know what?
ahead.
You know what? Just because we're not getting Q Ranger now doesn't mean that we won't get it at some point. Like, you never know. You remember the Go Buster that came out, what, 2013? And then we got it as Power Rangers in 2019.
Right.
So like it could happen. You never know.
And also too, and it's funny that you say that. And it's funny that you also say that too, because that was also an argument that many people were saying, like, oh, I want to see Lightning Collection figures and blah, 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 blah. And I want figures of these things and stuff like that. My thing is, I'm like, no shade, right? No shade. But y'all sitting here talking a whole bunch of foolishness about, I want Lightning Collection figures. For what? So y'all can get angry at them talking about their missing paint apps? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's really my thing. It's just like, I don't know what it is, but it's like we keep going in this weird, what is it? Like a, what you call those things? Uh, uh, mouse wheels, whatever you call them, little things, where the mice just jump on it and just run around in circles. Like, that's literally.
Yeah, I can't think of the word.
I can't think of the word either. Child, I can't think of it either. But but that's what I feel like it is, because we constantly having this conversation over and over and over and over and over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, okay. And I've always said this: if you want to see the Japanese version so badly, there's hundreds of ways to get the Japanese figures. People do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? If you want those figures that badly, and I understand the whole thing, like, oh, I want Lightning Collection figures. Baby, listen. They making all kind of figures over there. Like, they make multiple versions of the Japanese version figures over and over and over. They make multiple versions of them. You know what I'm saying? So you don't need the Lightning Collection to, you know what I'm saying, to get what you want. You don't need that. If you really want those figures that badly, you will purchase those figures from Japan and have them shipped to your front door if you want them that badly. You know what I'm saying? But this whole thing of like, oh, well, I want them to be Lightning Collection figures. When did you start loving Lightning Collection like that? Because as far as I'm concerned, y'all hate Lightning Collection figures. That's another thing. Like, y'all be hating Lightning Collection figures. So it's like, oh, now all of a sudden you want Lightning Collection figures? How did this become a part of the conversation? So it's just, there's so many variables to this thing. And it's just like, there's a bunch of just I want what I want when I want it, and that's basically it. Like
Mhm.
I just want what I want, and it's always been this argument, and I'm gonna jump off my soapbox in a bit because we got to continue. But there's always been this argument that the show must be like they're always making up these weird confines and these weird rules, talking about, oh, this is how the show is, when in actuality, no, this is your personal interpretation and your own personal likes for what you like the show to be. But there's no official anything that says this is the way the show must be. Just like there's no official thing that says they have to use the suits. There is no official thing that says we have to use every single little piece of whatever in the show. There's nothing like that.
Mhm.
So for me, it's just like it really bothers me when people start, talking about, oh, this is how it should go, or this is what this is what it should be,
Mhm.
um so that's my little thing on that. So moving right along. So Simon Bennett also goes on to say, he's like basically he's basically out here like, so obviously Q Ranger is the next thing, blah 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 blah. But he also goes on to say like some other interesting news as well. So he goes on to say that Cosmic Fury will be 10 episodes long. I called it.
Called it, yeah.
I called it. I said I knew it. As soon as he said that, I literally screamed. I literally fucking screamed as soon as he said that. I said, wait a minute! I knew it! I knew it because going off the sides that Yin was auditioning for, it literally said they will be there for 2 months. There is no way
Wow.
under God's green earth that they are going to be able to film 20 plus episodes in 2 months. It's not happening. So when I saw people up there talking about oh yeah, we're gonna get all these up, no, we're not. And then Simon Bennett was also like, um, yeah, so no, somebody tweeted and was like, so are the episodes gonna be like 40 minutes? And he's like, no, period. And I'm just
Mm.
like, I was
That
like,
kind of
duh.
sucks.
Like, did you really think they were?
I
You thought
don't
it was gonna be
know.
longer than that?
Just because it's on Netflix and because it's a shorter season, I think it would have been cool if it was a little bit longer, or at least if they could get like a full 30 minutes, that'd be cool. But mm,
I mean, listen, I don't necessarily hate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't necessarily like. For me, I'm gonna be honest with you. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me because I don't know. Like, I just knew. Power Rangers has never been no more than 30 minutes. Like, it's just or 22 minutes. Like, I just didn't think that they were going to be longer than that. Like, it's just that was just something that I was just like, if it happens, that would blow my fucking mind. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I was like, if it happens, oh, it's going to shake and rattle my entire world. But like, I just went into it automatically thinking that, oh, it's going to be 30 minutes. Like, it's going to be 22 minutes. Like, it's not going to be no more than that, But that was a topic of conversation. But he also, said that not only will it be 10 episodes, but also Hasbro and Netflix made a deal to where from now on, well, for this season, it is going to air at the same time all over the world. So if the
mhm,
date is
mhm.
going to be March the whatever, March 10th, I'm just throwing out a random day, don't quote me. If the day is March 12th or March 10th, it is going to be March 10th all over the world. How exciting is that? No more spoilers, people. Now
Yeah.
we don't have to have Hunter Dino getting on people's cases. This is exciting. Like, I am really excited about that. Like, what do you think? How do you feel about that? Like,
I mean, exactly what you said. We don't have to deal with spoilers, what, like 2, 3 months, maybe even more, before it shows up over here. So I'm happy about this. This is something I've been talked about before. I'm definitely good with that.
no, dead serious. Like, dead serious. Because, like, low key but high key. Like, I was so sick of like everybody else, posting them doggone spoilers. I was so over it. I'm like, y'all gotta quit. Because people weren't
Mhm.
using them doggone hashtags, and before I knew it, I done seen a whole bunch of stuff I ain't wanted to see. Child, it was just too much. Now, granted, like I said, I didn't take my own advice when I said make a new account for the time being. I didn't do that, but so of course I surfing on Twitter or whatever. I came across a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't want to see, but that was my fault. But regardless, still, I'm just like, dang, like because there was a certain I don't know if y'all seen the finale yet, but there was a certain scene that I was like on the end, I was like, I wish I could have saw this for myself. But it was fine. It was fine. I didn't, nothing to go crazy over, but I am glad that from now on, well, not from now on, let me stop saying that. For this season, it's going to be worldwide. Simon Bennett went ahead and told the people that. And then also, at the end of his, of him just like busting out all of the news and everything, and him, just saying all the things, he then bust out and said, and I have a special announcement coming from, David. And he's looking all around, talking about the morphin grid, talking about the morphin grid sent him a message. And he's like, David? And I'm like, who the hell is David? Who are you talking about? Boom. He is talking about David Yost, y'all. So David Yost is up there in New Zealand talking about, you know, hey y'all, I'm in New Zealand and we are filming this 30th anniversary. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be fire, and I got my homie over here, Walter, and here comes Walter coming in all fly, looking like Jordan Fight when he was looking like Jordan Fight when he get older. And I'm like, yes. And like, I swear, I just wanted somebody to make a meme being like Jordan Fight looking at his long lost dad, because he had like his hand over his mouth the entire time, like in shock. So it's just like, I would have loved to like have seen someone do a meme with that. But anyway, I think I might do it, but whatever. Um, but he was just so excited, and like he came up there and he's like, yeah, we filming this, you know what I'm saying, giving us a little bit of pop lock, you know what I'm saying, while trying to, talk to the camera with him and David, you know what I'm saying? And he's just like, yeah, we're gonna be filming this 30th anniversary thing, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's morphin time. Ow. And people were like, yes, David and Walter are coming back. Because the gag is we haven't seen David, honestly, since he left Power Rangers, in Zeo. Like, that was the last time we ever saw David again. And Walter, he popped up for the Lost episode where they talked about the pilot. And he also popped up and he did a voiceover for Forever Red as one of the robot generals. So as one of the Beetleborgs. So Walter has been back, but not as Zach. So, it's very interesting that, both of these people are now reprising their role all these years later, and this is so exciting.
Yeah.
Now, here's the real the Gaga, the real tea. So people be snooping. And child, apparently, so the con that Steve Cardenas was supposed to be going to literally says, the con literally says in their post, Steve Cardenas will not be attending this con because he will be filming in New Zealand.
Spoiler alert.
Now, I don't know if Steve went ahead and told the people to tell the people that he was going to be doing this, but if he did, Steve, wow, dude. Like, why would you do that? It's a surprise for a reason. Why would you tell the people? Like, what's happening? So of course Steve got on Twitter and was like, are you excited about the news that's come out? All cheeky and shit. It's like, bruh, come on, man. Like, come on. And then of course people also found out about Catherine because Catherine literally got on a live and was like, hi guys, so I won't be making it to whatever convention, blah 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 blah, while she is literally in the Pink Ranger robe that Hunter was wearing while she was filming. I'm like, oh my God, Catherine, like, what is wrong with you? Like, are y'all doing this on purpose? Because that's what it feels like. It feels like y'all are doing this on purpose. Like, I'm just like, so nobody knows how to keep secrets anymore. Like, what's happening? So, they let the cat out the bag. So now it is pretty much confirmed that Steve and Catherine. Oh, I didn't even talk about this part. Catherine literally took a picture and was like, "Oh, thank you, Steve, for taking such a great picture of me." Now, how would Steve take a picture of you if you weren't in New Zealand? Ma'am. So it will be for the 30th anniversary. It will be Steve Cardenas, Catherine Sutherland, Walter Emmanuel Jones, and David Yost. Now, also, there is a new girl, which I am sure that Lena will love because she is also Vietnamese herself. There is a new girl. She won the character of Yin, apparently. Now, we don't know if Yin is going to be her name for real. We don't know yet. But her name is Charlie Kirsch. And Homegirl is a ninja. Like, she is a straight up ninja. Like, I'm just going to head and call it what it is. Like, Homegirl is out here giving, like, I don't even know, but I love it. And she apparently, it's no secret because apparently she was at Power Morphicon and she took a picture at Power Morphicon, but also people also did a little bit of snooping when they found her, and Homegirl has the entire group who is going to be at Morphicon, not Morphicon, at the 30th anniversary. All of them are filming. All of them are following her. Walter, David, Catherine, and Steve. Every last one of them are following her. So it is safe to say that Charlie Kirsch will be in the brand new season. It is safe to say that as well. Well, I'm sorry.
Season.
Sorry about that.
I guess we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do.
I'm pretty sure it's probably just like a special episode or something like that. But, well, I mean, you're right. We shall see. We shall see what they do.
Yeah, because this stuff happened. This was this week, and we're finding out that the main cast they should be in New Zealand, back in New Zealand right now.
Yeah, they are. They are there not right now.
So so who knows? Who knows? I'm hoping that it's like we maybe like 2 appearances by the OGs. That'd be really cool.
Man, I'm gonna tell you
And
right now, I am like, I have so many ideas about how this thing can go. Like, man, think about it. Billy was still floating in space in Aquitar with Cestria all this time. Do you think
mhm.
that if they go to space, they're gonna run into Billy on Aquitar and be like, yo, what's good?
Oh my
You know
God.
what I'm
That's something
saying?
that I was thinking too, actually. And oh man, like we had the planetary like union between Earth and Marinoy. And I'm sure like they would have to. I mean, well, I guess they don't have to, but I think it would make a lot of sense if Earth had some sort of connection with a lot of the planets that we've learned of and been introduced to over the years, like KO 35, Eltar, if Eltar is still in existence. Um, so like maybe what if like Zach is on one of those planets after the peace conference?
Or
That'd be
listen, like, you know what'd be real cool or what'd be real crazy? What if Zach, now, follow me. What if Zach all of a sudden busts out and he uses the Omega Morpher?
I saw somebody mention that. That would be really interesting. That would be, oh man. I mean, they own it, so that would be
Exactly.
cool.
Exactly. Bruh. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, like, if Zach busts out that Omega Morpher, yo, it's a wrap. Like, I'm losing my mind. Like, I'm telling you right now, this will probably go down as probably one of the best 30th anniversaries. Like, this will probably be the best 30th anniversary ever. Like, point blank, period. Like, it's a fucking wrap. Ah, like I'm losing it. Like, but of course, obviously, it's probably Mighty Morphin, all Mighty Morphin. But it's cool. It's cool. No shade. But
And
like,
it's
cause you know,
Almighty Morphin, and it's like different Rangers that have never even been on screen together. That's really cool.
right? Because it's different seasons of Mighty Morphin. Because you
Mhm.
got Catherine, who's season 3. You know, Steve, who's season 2. You know, so the OGs never met. You know, Catherine. You
Mhm.
know, like the actors themselves, they didn't meet Steve. So, it'll be very interesting on how they paint this picture and everything. But, with everybody reporting this information, we don't have Karen. So I'm wondering, is Karen there? Or, did they, or are they just being like, okay, we're going to give the Yellow Ranger, the Yellow Ranger her powers and, not, not include Karen. Like, I don't know. Like, that just makes me feel so weird. Like, what do you think? Like, do you think Karen is going to be there? Like, do you think Karen is invited? Like, because I mean, I haven't seen. Like, I looked at the bop because that's what I was doing. I was wondering. I was like, well, shit. Like, I'm gonna look at the bop Karen Little podcast show and see if they don't have a new episode or something like that. And lo and behold, they definitely got a brand new episode of the bop. So I'm like, oh. Oh, so is Karen not gonna be there? Because if she's not gonna be there, I'm gonna be mad.
I mean, you can do podcasts virtually.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, they.
I mean, look at us. Three different places.
Right?
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, nobody ain't, like I said, like, nobody ain't picking up on Karen yet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
nobody ain't picked up on her, and it's like they even filmed a brand new episode, and her backdrop is the same. Like, it's the same little backdrop, which we always filming. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you know, it looks to me like, she might not be in New Zealand right now. That's all I'm saying. Now I'm hoping that she is eventually. I'm hoping that she does go or that she is invited. But I don't know, y'all. It just kind of look a little awkward.
I wonder if hmm, I wonder if whatchamacallit really retired JDF.
That's another one too. Now people did actually call that out. Like people were like, because apparently I guess he has a con or that literally he literally was like he has a huge gap from like October 2nd or something like that to like October 28th. So people also were like, is JDF gonna be there? Now, granted, I want J. Now, the only reason why I want JDF to go, and hear me when I say this, I do not want him in this 30th anniversary. I really don't. But obviously, you can't have the Mighty Morphin OGs there and not invite Tommy. That's just it is what it is. I know how much we just really dislike this man. We
Yeah,
really dislike the fact that he always popping up.
but
But
but you have to remember this time he's Eric Reed. He's no longer Tommy Oliver.
Oh my god.
So Eric Reed can't be in this reunion, obviously, because we don't know who Eric Reed is in the original OG Mighty Morphin.
And he's been JDF's been in. Oh no, he hasn't been in every one. He wasn't in the 15th, so never
no, he
mind.
wasn't
I
in
was
the
gonna.
15th.
Yeah.
Any of the ones that was done by Saban, he was in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, any anniversary season that was done by Saban, he was in. He just wasn't in the Disney one, but he did all of the Saban ones. Absolutely. So
I wonder if they would do any doubles, like people that play to the same color. That'd probably be crowded. Get crowded.
no, because I would love that because then that could mean they could invite Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would be really cool if they invited Johnny. And Johnny was there, and then you know what I'm saying? Like it'd be two blacks because they always wanting to throw Johnny in and give him things that he didn't use when when it comes to the toys. You know what I'm saying? So I was just saying I would love to see both Johnny and Zach and Walter there. Just to kind of be like, hey, you're black. I'm black too. Hey now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love that. Like, that would be fucking amazing. So I don't know, like I said, I'm just really hoping and praying that not Walter, that Karen is gonna be there. Now, JDF, I'm pretty sure he's probably he's probably gonna be there, obviously. But
We know someone that isn't.
ah shade.
I mean, it's the truth. He can't leave the country.
Oh, you just messy. Messy.
Yeah.
Just
It's not funny.
messy. Lord have mercy. Just messy. But nah, like I'm excited. Like I really am excited for this. So yeah, like that was the actual news that we've been waiting for. Everything else consisted of the once I actually turned it back and started watching the rest of the rest of the Hasbro Post Con, I had to go back and rewatch it. And they talked about the Cammy and Ken Lightning Collection figures that would just look like literal ripoffs of the Pink and Red Rangers. I saw somebody literally post on Twitter that Ken was going into virtual alert on VR Troopers.
Oh wow.
When I
Mm.
say I hollered so loud, I'm like, because that's exactly what that's given. Like literally, Ken's helmet is literally just a repaint of the Red Ranger helmet. Like it literally is. Like there's no thought that went into it. Cammy's same thing, literally literal repaint of the Pink Ranger helmet. They just made the whole thing green and put a beret on top. Like there's no uniqueness, no creativity, nothing that went into it. I don't even feel like talking about it. That's why I saved it for last. It's god awful. It's garbage. No,
Mm.
like I mean, I ain't meant to read it like that, but it's the truth. Like that thing is garbage. Like it just looks terrible. Like both of them look tacky. Now their box art looks amazing. The box art looks phenomenal. But the
Yeah.
toys themselves, they look terrible. Like those things look horrible. And I'm just like, I get them trying to be like, oh yeah, we want to create, we want to continue the, making Street Fighter characters and blah 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 blah. I hear that, but not y'all sitting here. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like there was no creativity that went into this. All they did was slap some paint. They just covered the Pink Ranger helmet in green paint, threw a beret on there, and gave her the dragon shield, and called it a day. Like that's really all they did. And they added some long pigtails. They gave her some weave pigtails in the back because Cammy hair was not that long, so they extended it. They added some tracks in it and made it even longer. Like, I mean, and then Ken, they gave Ken the Red Ranger helmet and cut off the sleeves and made him look like Jason. Like, I'm just like, what does it give it? Like, y'all didn't put no effort into this. Like, it just looks terrible. It looks tacky. It's and I'm sorry, old girl, what's her name? Laurel, or whatever the girl name is. She used to be the brand person for Hasbro until she moved. But she's such a sweet woman, and she was trying so hard to talk about it in such glowing terms. But I'm like, girl, you know this shit is trash. Like, you know it's trash. It looks like trash. Like, girl, don't try to sell me this. It looks terrible. But regardless, and then they also talked about the Zap Megazord, in all its 14 inches. So, well, 14 and a half, because you can't forget the half, because the half is important. But 14 and a half inches, they talked about that. And then they went on to show another interview with Andre and Ryan Parrott and Melissa. The only reason why I saved this to the very end is honestly because they didn't really talk about nothing. Like, I mean, Ryan just basically gave his the same, pretty much the same speech that he gave at Morphicon, being like, he thanked everybody and he had a great run. He enjoyed his time. Um, you know, and yeah. And then Melissa was like, yeah, I'm having some big shoes to fill, etc. I'm really excited. And that's basically the brunt of what she had to say. So, I mean, I'm excited for Melissa. I really am. And I'm sad that Ryan is leaving. But, other than that, they didn't give us no teaser. There was nothing that they were like, oh yeah, we can't show you any, or like we're gonna show you some art that you're not supposed to see yet, or something. None of that. Like it was just them talking, and I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. And yeah, that was Hasbro Post Con. So, what is something that really made you go, ooh, if it did? And is there something that Hasbro Post Con really that it actually fulfilled? Like, did it actually, meet its mark with like making you happy with the news, or did it just make you go, okay, girl, like it's not like what I expected, or is it giving exactly what I expected?
I wasn't expecting much, so it exceeded my expectations. So, um, Definitely Walter and David's announcement reveal, and then getting some info on Cosmic Fury. So those were like the two big things.
Okay. And what about you, Lena? Is there anything from post con that tickled your fancy?
If I'm being honest, not really.
Not even the Cosmic Fury news?
Oh, because I will say this. Because in terms of the Cosmic Fury news, I think it came a little too late. So then at this point, I've already lost interest. But then with the third anniversary thing, I'm not really like excited for it because it's great that people are coming back. But again, remember what happened to when like was it Dimensions and Dangers or whatever? Is it going to be a situation where they only get one line each where they barely know each other? Because if that's it, I don't really care for it. I don't want it.
That's like a
Not
point.
not need it, you know. However, if it's like once a ranger, oh, give me the popcorn. I'm here for it, you know? So I think I'm just sort of like I'm not trying to
Wait,
sound like I'm like negative about it, but I think I'm just sort of waiting before I
wait
get
and see
excited.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So
fair.
yeah. And it obviously you know I'm not a big toy person anyways. So none of the toys really like wow me. The suit was cool. I did really like the suit. Um I think I think like yourself, like at first I was like, what is this? But then over time it kind of grew on me. So this
Mm-hmm.
like so the fact that they were changing the suit, I was like, okay, well, makes sense because we were kind of expecting that. So again, not really much of a surprise. I think overall, did the Hasbro Con needed to happen? In my opinion, no, not really, not at all. But it did happen, and it gave it gave us something to talk about, which is great because we needed some news. But I felt like it was a little. They made us wait way too long for this, just way too long.
Got you.
And,
Got you. That's
you
fair.
know, and then the other thing is too, why are you telling us all these people are coming back? Why not just have the surprise that they're there? I
To
feel
get
like,
people to watch it, to build up
well,
anticipation.
I get that, but like I remember, like, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Could be because I just never had internet or whatever, right? But I remember like Forever Red. I don't think anyone knew they were coming back. No one knew that was happening. And then people kept popping up and we're like, oh my God, oh my God. So like as more people popped up, more ranges popped. Like I remember that excitement so vividly. I remember being like, oh my God, it's Jason. Oh my God, it's Wes. Oh my God. Like it was such a like it was like I think the best way for me to describe it, it's like when you're coming. You're like, oh my God, it just keeps getting better and better and better and better.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
Wow. You really went there.
I'm just saying it needs something and it needs to excite me.
Ah.
So far, it has yet to excite me. Now, I'm
Wow.
not gonna fake it like some girls or some dudes, but I need the excitement.
Wow. Like I'm at a loss for words. I thought that I was the one that was going to say something slack tonight,
Right.
but sheesh. I mean, I'm here for it, but because I agree. But
Oh,
I mean,
God.
but listen, I I guess for me too, like the one I can see exactly where you're coming from. I will say that with it wasn't their fault that like I'm not I am going to say this. It wasn't Hasbro's fault because people just don't know how to lie. Just plain and simple. People just do not know how to lie. Because like straight up, Steve was just like he just let the chopper spray and was just like, yeah. So boom, I'm here. It's happening. And he let his own moment happen. And Catherine just didn't know how to lie. So we know who half the cast is already just because they don't know how to be secretive. Um, so I will say that I will say that's not Hasbro's fault. But what I will also say is low key, but high key, like stay off of social media. Like in general, like if you really didn't want anyone to figure out that you were, you know, what you were doing, just stay off of social media. Just stay off of social media. Or, you know, or do what a bunch of people do. Because I see people do this all the time. Like if they're trying to like be secretive about something, they would take a crap ton of photos. Just take a crap ton. I mean, just like mad photos of them just sitting at home chilling, like or at the beach or on a yacht or you know what I'm saying, just or randomly shopping at Ralph's or I don't know, but just like or at Target, I don't know, but just doing random things to throw people off the scent. Because when people are going onto your social media, they are looking for key things to be like, you're probably doing X, Y, and Z. You're where are you? I wonder. You look like you're somewhere. You look like you're at such place. You look like you're here. You look like you're there. And that will throw off the scent. But the gag is not you sitting here filming talking about, hey, I won't be coming to this con while you're literally wearing the Pink Ranger robe. That is the stupidest thing. I was like, oh my God, Catherine, why would you do this? If you were trying to keep it a secret, why would you do that? You know, so it's just there's just certain things that they just could have done that would have alleviated all of that. So to that comment, I will say that wasn't entirely Hasbro's fault. Um, but what I will also say too, I do agree it was a little too late. It's just a little too late. It was. It was. It was a little too late. Because you know we should have had something. You know, we should have known a lot more a long time ago instead of waiting until now and being like, oh yeah, Cosmic Fury, am I right, guys? So I don't know. You know, so I will say that I do agree with. But one last thing before I go, because I did want to bring this up really fast. All of these reactions and everything does from the fandom does have me a little worried about the Entwistle universe, which they did not cover, but whatever. It does have me a little worried, y'all. It has me a little worried. And I just wanted to get y'all thoughts before we conclude. It kind of got me scared because, as we know, Toei and Hasbro has a partnership that is unwavering. It is strong and it is not going anywhere, according to Simon Bennett. It ain't going nowhere. So that does mean that Hasbro is probably going to play a part in the probably in the Entwistle universe. Exactly. It's probably going to play a part. So I don't know what that's going to be, redesigning things, or anything like that. I don't know. But what I do want to bring up, and I just want you guys' opinions before we go. Do you honestly, do you really feel like, how do you feel about with the way that people reacted to Q Ranger and having the original suits, but not using the Q Ranger suits? Do you think that the fans not being receptive to originality, do you think that will hurt the Entwistle universe in any way?
I mean, you're dealing with the Power Rangers fandom, so anything anything can mess with this universe. So like if they try things that are different and they really do try to modernize it and get it to another level, I can definitely see people complaining about it even if it's good. So would not surprise me.
Because that is something that really does, that really scares me. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna even lie. It does really scare me because when you think about it, and let's just think about it for a second. When you think about it, the Entwistle universe, we already know more than likely 9 times out of 10 is going to consist of brand new costumes, brand new, whatever. We just don't know if it's going to be Mighty Morphin or not. But it is going to consist of brand new things. What scares me is that people are going to have this idea or this misconception that, oh, this this is this, or this is that, or this is whatever. And I really feel like I'm just really nervous that it's going to put that people are not going to that it's going to get a bad rep, and it's going to suffer the same treatment that the 2017 movie faced, where people just couldn't get on board with it being so unique, so different. And it's, oh, this is not my Power Rangers. And we end up running back into this, once again, going back into this pinwheel of foolishness, where once again it's like, oh, this isn't what I remember. This isn't my thing. This isn't that. And it ends up making non-watchers, people who would be interested in it, because as we know, there's a resurgence of people who were just like, oh, I haven't watched this show since I was a kid. I love this movie. This movie was phenomenal. Like, I fucking loved it. Or people who've never watched the show before was like, oh, I just randomly just turned it on TV and I just saw this movie and I was like, oh shit, let me watch it. Oh shit, this is actually really good. And I feel like it's going to end up hurting those people. It's going to end up hurting the people who would just randomly turn to it and be like, oh snap, this seems like this is going to be pretty good. And because it's so different and because it's not what we're used to, I am afraid that the fandom is going to shit all over it and deter people from watching it. And then we're going to be right back at square one, dealing with another Samurai, another Ninja Steel, and another Megaforce. Because they know that, oh, if we make it as corny as that, at least the fans will be happy.
I mean,
At least the fans can deal with it.
You're saying that maybe they'll just cancel it finally. If that happens.
And that's my fear. That's my fear.
And it'll be all the people that are trying to gatekeep's fault.
And that's
it's
my
not
fear.
just and it's not just for us. Like, they do want
it's not
to get this to a higher level, and sometimes to do that things have to change. So
things have to change. See, that's the word of tonight. Change. Things have to change. Like, you cannot, like, people say this all the time, and it will always remain true. You cannot get to bigger and better if you do not change. Like, things that used to work doesn't always continue to work. That's why Power Rangers is such a cult classic, because it came at a time in the 90s when things were where it capitalized and was so popular because it hit 90s popularity. Like, it hit the 90s so, like, it encapsulated the 90s so well. Mm-hmm. And it did it in a way that no matter how you try to slice it, no matter how you try to recreate it, it will never work. It will never work, because it is literally an era piece. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't recreate the 90s off that unless you are intentionally trying to recreate the 90s with all the 90s things included. And even then, that doesn't even work sometimes. Mm-hmm. So it's like, y'all have got to learn that, yes, the show has to evolve. It has to. And you cannot say, oh, it's evolving because they have brand new suits and brand new stuff every year. No, that's not evolving, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like that is not evolving. And I do feel like for some fans, that is their idea of evolving. Oh, we get brand new suits and brand new and brand new villains every year and brand new actors. That's evolving. No, it's not. It's not. Like we have to be current. We have to go with the times. And I'm sorry, but some of the stuff that y'all wanted and some of the stuff that y'all like, well, why can't we be like this? Why can't we be like that? You know what that's going to involve? Evolving. Why can't we be like DC? Why can't we be like Marvel? Power Rangers will never be like that because you won't let it be. You have to let it evolve. You have to let it evolve. And that is what Hasbro is trying to do. But if you keep shooting them down at the hip every 5 minutes and being like, oh, this isn't my Power Rangers, like, you ain't going to get what you want. And nobody's going to get what they want. And like you said, it's going to come to a point where they're going to be like, oh, should we go ahead and keep this or should we go ahead and throw it out? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, this is just something to think about. And I just wanted to bring this to y'all, just kind of get y'all's opinion. But, since we're recording at a different time, it's late for all the people. So we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. But if y'all really did enjoy this conversation and y'all enjoyed Hasbro Pro Con, let us know. Let us know down in the comment section. Also, too, like I always say, just for the algorithms and all that, go on to YouTube and like us and give us 5 stars if you loved it, because that really does help us. If you definitely want to see this podcast grow and see it featured on, throughout YouTube as like a, look at this, or, things you may like, or, something like that. Like, because they might feature us. Because I know Instagram just started doing that. Like, I don't know whether y'all know this, but like I was literally swiping on Instagram, like, going through stories, and literally one of our promos popped up and was like, oh, something you may be interested in. And I'm like, oh, that's our promo. And I got so happy. But so, like, yeah, like Instagram is promoting us. So, that is huge for us. So, like I said, like, please like our episodes on YouTube. Also, do the Lord's work. Like us and leave us a comment on Apple Podcasts as well. Let's just keep this thing going, y'all, because we out here doing good work. And I just want the people to just, go ahead and listen, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and for us to, grow and, become bigger and better and become stronger and better for the people, okay? But once again, I'm not gonna hold y'all up. We're gonna go ahead and get on out of here. So, without further ado, my name is Brandon.
My name is Lita.
And my name is Will.
And we will see you next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye.